Hi guys, today we're going to be starting Unit 4. Unit 4 is multiplication. So you've already done some multiplication if you did the color sheet over the remote learning. So today we're going to talk about exploring place shifts. Exploring place shifts. When you're multiplying, we're going to talk about multiplying by powers of 10. So 10, 100, thousands. The main thing to remember, the really important thing, is that when we multiply by 10, we shift digits one place to the left. And going to the left is the important thing to remember. When we go into division, since division is the opposite of multiplication, we'll be going the other direction. So we're just going to start out with some examples. If you have $1 and you multiply that dollar by 10, you have $10. What you did was you shifted this one place to the left, because by 10 you shift one place to the left. So we took it from the ones place into the tens place. Let's say you have $10 and you multiply that by 10. I'm going to take that 1 and I'm going to shift it one place to the left along with that 0. So I am going to end up with $100. If I have $100 and I multiply that times $100 or 100 times, I will have $1,000. So just a few notes on the side here. If you noticed, if you are multiplying by 10, you shift one time. We moved this one time. We shifted to the left one time. If you're multiplying by 100, you shift twice. And if you're multiplying by 1,000, you shift 3 times. Let's do a couple more examples. If we have $325 and we multiply that by 10, that means we are going to shift every digit one time to the left. So our 3 is in the hundreds place. It's going to move to the thousands place. Our 2 is in our tens place. It's going to move to our hundreds place. Our 5 is in the ones place. It's going to move to the tens place. Okay, so our 3 will now be in the thousands place. Gotta keep my dollar sign. Our 2 is in the hundreds place. Our 5 will be in the tens place, and nothing in our ones place now. If we took that same 325 and we multiply it by 100, we're going to move that decimal 2 places. Shift twice. So our 3 will end up it's in the hundreds. We would move it to the thousands and then the 10,000s. So it's going to be 10,000s. Our 2 is going to move to the thousands. Our 5 will be in our hundreds, and those zeros at the end. One thing you might notice too is if there is one number in the problem that has a 0 behind it, if there's 1 0 in the problem, there's going to be 1 0 in the solution. If there are 2 zeros in the problem, there are going to be 2 zeros in the solution. That just comes in as a handy thought, but you don't always want to rely on that 100%, and you'll see why tomorrow when we get to patterns with 5s, okay? Now, decimals also shift the same way, and it's not the decimal that shifts, it's the digits that shift around the decimal. So let's say, for example, we have 412 thousandths. If we multiply that by 10, every digit is going to shift 1 time to the left. 1 time because multiplying by 10, there's 1 0. So my 4 is actually going to pop onto the other side of the decimal. My 1 is going to come into my 10ths place, and my 2 is going to come into my 100ths place. So 4 and 12 hundredths. We can do the same thing if we multiply that 412 thousandths by 100. Now we're looking at moving twice. There's 2 zeros. We move twice. So that would put that 4 not here, but here, which would be in the tens place. Our 1 would go not here, but here in our ones place. Our decimal stays the same, we're just dancing around it. And then our 2 would be in our 10ths place. Okay. Go ahead and turn your page. We're going to create a chart that you are going to do as you watch the video. Our chart is going to be dealing with the places billions, millions, thousands, and ones. So at the top across, we're just going to write out billions, comma, millions, comma, thousands, comma, and ones. Underneath that, we're just going to put the place values that could be underneath these. So for billions, of course, it goes up to 100 billion, and that's going to be a column. We could have 10 billions, and we could have 1 billions. Your last line you want to be right under that comma, okay? Same with millions, 100, 10, 1, and your line would come right under that comma. Thousands is 100, 10, 1, right under that comma. And in our ones place, we have 100, tens, and ones. Okay, another line underneath here. When you're done with this graph, go ahead and click onto the next video. You're going to watch that video and you're going to fill in some numbers into this chart so that you can actually see the progression of moving places to the left. Then you're going to do an assignment on IXL and then go back to Google Classroom and do 4-1 in the worksheets. Good luck!